Boys and girls, Benjamin Bok Choi back with another F1 23 ranked multiplayer episode. And as you can see, we are at Austria. I managed to qualify P2, but we have terrible starts once again. Connor 18.025 qualified on pole. We lose the position to Cross, and I wanted to just put this in here. One, because what happens at the end of the race is so stupid. Doesn't have anything to do with the racing or anything like that. But then a little bit of as we get turned in on there in turn 3, as if we weren't literally sitting on the apex. But anyway, we made it out of there unscathed. But watch these two guys in front of us fighting for the next few laps, and let me know what you guys think of the battling. I thought it was I'll let you know after we kind of see everything, but so far so good. It seems pretty clean right now. Connor seems to be faster. Cross seems to be really slow. I did use a little bit of overtake on lap 1, but you'll see later on we're at like 100% battery and we have no problem sticking behind Cross. So that is lap number 1. We are in P3. We have nobody behind us threatening at this point. So from here on out, I'm just watching these two guys fight. Now, Cross is moving. He's allowed to make one move and then come back towards his racing line. Everything seems okay there for now. And turn 3 is where a lot of the kind of questionable moves start to happen. I know that the track kind of moves to the left a little bit, but see where he starts braking and where he ends up. He's almost pushing Connor all the way to the edge of the track before they even turn into the corner. And in turn 4 had a few questionable events as well. This one seems okay. They weren't really close enough there to do any fighting. We skip to lap number 3 now, and we come back to turn 3 as well. Connor is all the way. Connor is like in the middle of the track, and Cross is forcing him to the outside of the track under braking. I think that's moving under braking there. As you can, if you take a look at where the racing line is, the racing line assist, that's generally where you want to be. And as we come into corner number 4 now, Cross just pushes him all the way out. Yes, he's on the curb, but he's practically off the track at that point. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think if this was real life, Cross would have gotten some penalties, but because this is such a poorly optimized game, there's no penalties. Again, they make some contact there, wheel banging going into turn 3. Once again, I don't think this one's quite as bad, but just look at where he is, and then as they're braking, he gets pushed out again. I know Connor's kind of a little bit erratic, trying to avoid P1 there, but I thought some of this was kind of on the edge and a little bit over the edge there. But anyway, that's it for now. That was quite a bit of a show. They're going to battle again going into turn 3 here. That one wasn't quite so bad. I think that one seemed pretty legit. But like I said, just the nature of the corner there, where the circuit kind of curves to the left a little bit, it just seems a little bit worse than it is. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I thought some of it was kind of borderline, but some of it was good, tough fighting. Now we move to lap number 13, and it's starting to rain, and Connor managed to jump to P1. I went a little bit long because I didn't know if the rain was coming or not, but then of course the rain started coming, and as we come down to turn number 4 right now, migrating host, what the hell is going on? Session will start in 55 seconds. I was like, what the hell? And then when we came back, they just started the race all over again. I think at this point everybody had been kicked out of lobby, because you'll see in a little bit it just got really, really confusing here. Now this guy left the lobby. I saw his name at the bottom, but I wasn't sure about everybody else, and it still says that some guys are in the lobby, and then they start driving like this. Just kind of weaving back and forth. I don't know what the hell he's doing there. He's driving like an idiot, but I don't know if he's controlling them or not. And then, of course, this other guy comes up behind us and just sandwiches us, and everybody gets stuck on the other cars, and everybody else is just driving along and getting stuck alongside us as well. So I don't think, even though it seems like these guys are still controlling their cars, I don't think they're actually controlling their cars at this point. So because we have the damaged front wing, I just keep driving. Right now, I'm not really sure what's going on. It seems like these guys are still driving, but they're going super, super slow for some reason. Even 2 cars out in front of us are going slow in front of this Kurt Cobain guy. I like that name, by the way. I assume it's a reference to Kurt Cobain. So yeah, look how slow he's going on this straight. I decided to come in to pits, and I just kind of screw up there. I don't think there's anybody controlling them anymore. And as you can see right now, there's a bunch of, see, DNF, everybody's DNF on the track. So we come in to change out our front wing, and then we end up jumping back on track to finish up like half a lap or something like that. I think it was only like another half a lap. And then we run into this error. You have not successfully transitioned to the session, and then we get booted out. And then not only that, but I ended up losing like 40 points from my division. As you can see, we have 169 in our division, our Silver 1 division, but I started the race with like 215, so I got booted out of a lobby through no fault of my own, and I end up losing like 40 or 50 points because technically I guess I quit or whatever. So anyway, that was the race number 7, I believe. We are in race number 8 right now at Silverstone. We've managed to hit all 3 tracks, qualified P2. Yeah, not a great experience, and then I just jumped right into this one next, and this wasn't all that fun either, but we'll go through it. Starting P2, we managed to maintain P2. I didn't get hit there, I just lost the car, so no contact from Louch QC. I just lost the rear of the car going into, I believe that is turn number 4 or number 3. So we drop a position now. We are down to P3, and the guy that started on pole, I think he was about 6 or 7 tenths faster than us in qualifying. But like I said, didn't have much practice going into these couple of races. I think I just did like 2 or 3 laps in time trial at all 3 ranked multiplayer tracks, and then I jumped in. So. Again, not an excuse. I'm not that good at this game anyway, but when I'm going in cold, I'm even worse. So lap number 1, we managed to stay on the gearbox of the guy in P2 and P1, so we're not dropping too far back. I was expecting Luan Ribeiro to extend a little bit further out, just judging by the qualifying time, and we had that moment in the first sector that kind of slowed us down a little bit, but he's not too far ahead. Louch is still within DRS, and I am within Louch's DRS, and we have SLA Eufrasio in P4 behind us within our DRS as well. So it's a pretty tight race so far. And as we start lap number 2, it's just pretty much single file racing at this point. Trying not to waste too much battery. We still have about 70% left at this point, but I think Louch is using battery as he just closed up on P1 through the first sector there. And as we come out of this to go down the straight, the car ahead loses traction, spins off, and we manage to gain that position. Now, we managed to get within DRS of the guy in first place, and we managed to drop the guy in third, who has the fastest lap right now. And I just want to sit behind this guy and maintain this gap until we get towards the end of the race, so no mistakes. But I made a huge mistake, which was putting in an earbud and listening to The Big Bang Theory on HBO Max while I was racing. So I was like half listening to the show and half racing, which is not a great thing to do because sometimes I get caught up in the dialogue and I forget that I'm even racing. I just kind of go into like automatic mode, and I'm just racing through muscle memory, but you'll see how it works out towards the end. So now we are on starting lap 5. The guy behind made a mistake and ended up dropping back a handful of seconds, so he's 5.5 seconds back, and I'm my dumbass is listening to The Big Bang Theory as we go into Maggots and Beckett's, and as we come out, I'm not even paying attention, and I lose traction, and I was like, God damn it, I should have taken my earbud out before I started racing. Of course I don't. I continue to just listen to the show as I'm racing. But now we are in P3, and we are about 7.5 tenths behind SLA Eufrasio, and I decided to just go into the pits right now and try and get an undercut. Since we're behind him, I don't have much battery left anyway. I don't know what his battery is at. I'm going to just jump in, try and get an undercut. Now, we did come out behind him, or he came out ahead of us when he did his pit stop, and we ended up overtaking him. But now we are in lap 11. Not much really happened. We were just pretty much fighting this one guy from like lap 5 onward. So he jumped us on lap 11 at the end of lap 11 as we are about to start lap 12, and I only have 18% battery left at this point. So we've got 2 laps left. I've got 22%, and I know that I can harness about 10 to 20%. I mean, not 10 to 20%, about 10% per lap. So at the end of these 2 laps, I'll have about an extra 20% on top of what I've got. So I'm thinking maybe about 35-40% battery by the end of the race. So it helps to know how much you can harvest on a normal lap without using ERS. So it looks like he's pushing a little bit as well, as he's extended the gap now to about 7.5 tenths, and the leader's just so far out. We've been battling each other since we came out of the pit so much that the leader is just extended out to about 8 seconds. Although I'm really not quite sure where he found that speed, because when we were behind him, he didn't seem all that fast, but then all of a sudden, once he was out of view of my car, even though he was track extending a little bit, and we start track extending now as well, because I was like, screw it, if everybody else is going to extend, then I might as well do it too. He couldn't drop us out of DRS or really extend the gap much at all, and then all of a sudden, once he's out of camera view and we can't see, the gap started to get a little bit higher. So the gap was up to about 8 seconds. Now it's dropping again all of a sudden. Like, we just gained a second on him on that lap. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it could just be desync screwing around with the lap times as well. So I don't know. But as we start the final lap here, we are at 30%. So yes, we did harvest about 10% on that last lap. And we should be able to harvest another 10%, but then again, sector 3 we're going to be attacking, so maybe about 35-36% battery, and we want to stay as close as possible through sector 1 and sector 2, just so we don't have to waste too much battery closing in. We want to be right behind him as we get to the final DRS straight. So half a second behind him now. Our tires are 1 lap older, so he's got 1 lap better tires than us. Not too much, but should help him with maybe a couple hundredths or a couple thousandths of a second. Once again, as we are about to head down into Cop, still about half a second behind. I do use a little bit of battery to try and close up on him a little bit. And are we going to extend the track? No, we actually, both of us managed to stay on the track. And coming into Maggots Beckett's, 3.5 seconds. We are about 3.5 seconds behind now, so pretty decent gap, but we don't get an amazing exit, and we're only about 3 tenths behind. So we turn on the ERS, turn on the DRS, and it looks like we might be able to make it side by side, and as we come in, we make contact. Now, as you can see, I don't make any reaction in the camera because I wanted to watch the replay first. And after watching the replay, it's tough. You know what? I might as well just throw it up here for you and you guys can make the decision. So I'm just going to play it for you a few times. I mean, I know that he's on the racing line, and I know that I'm kind of coming in a little bit narrow. I feel like he does turn in a little bit sharper there than he should have. I wasn't exactly on the apex, but the apex is a little bit further in. You see, if he had just continued going, he would have made the apex, and there would have been no room there for me anyway, I think. I don't know, I think we can chalk it up to racing incident. I think he could have not turned in quite as sharply as he did. But it's kind of a weird corner with a whole bunch of different lines. So, I don't know. I wasn't too upset, as you can see. It's just a racing game anyway. It's not the first time it's happened. It's not going to be the last time it'll happen. So, but it was a good fight between myself and SLA Eufrasio there at the end. So, let's not spoil it by getting angry for no reason. Yeah, but yeah, that's it, guys. Two of the most recent races. First race was just all screwed up. EA and Cody's need to get this ranked online racing together, and then race number 2 could have ended a little bit better for us, but it's alright. But that's it for me, guys. If you think I've earned it, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Remember to eat bok choy. I'll see you guys in the next episode.